Hello, welcome back to my channel. I am Deepak Patil and let's continue to discuss about the new problem of statement. So today's statement is how to add array field or JSON field in the entity. So recently MySQL supported the JSON field in the database. So let's check how we can add that. So first of all, let's create one of the sample entity. So I'm going to create entity, bin console, make entity. Let's say we can create entity as a product. Okay, so I just keep the default one, so the default is there. And if we check that, we have an entity. Okay, we have an entity created and we have a repository created. So two classes are created by the maker entity. So yeah, it's just id. So let's add one more field into it, name thing. Okay, and to keep that as now if we look into the database, there is no any product table 8. So we have to create it. For that, let's run the command to update the schema, product schema. If we run it, then yeah, you can see there is a product table and I already created some query here. So we can see that name and varchar, there are two fields. Now to create the JSON field, we have to again use the maker bundle. Okay, so just update the product. Let's say I want to add some tags. Okay, so these can be the some random string. Okay, so yes, I want to keep it as a flag. So if we see this, so it's a actually array. So see, other are string or integer, but this is the array. Return type also array. So we can add and we can set and get the array field to this tag field. When we update the schema in the database, let's check what is in the database. If we refresh it, it's applied. You can see the column. See, tags as a JSON. Yes, it's nullable. Now let's check how we can add some field into the uh, database. Let's be in console. So let's create the controller product. This is also one of the way to create the product controller instead of enter and then give the name. So let's check. See, this also work. So when I refresh, I can see product controller. Okay, remove whatever the default created there. There should be a directory created in the twig. So let's remove it. Okay, the entity example. It's entity example. Okay, entity example. If we see this example, now we have to create the code where we can save the product. Save product. That function should return a product, and then parameter is also product. Let's check. Let's get the entity manager. This get entity manager, or we can do something like that. Of entity manager persist. So let's persist the product object, return product. Okay, so if this parameter is, see, this will not flush the record, but we can also add the one more, flush equal to false. If flush equal to true, then we can also submit the data. Then instead of that, let's set the entity manager equal to this of it manager, and this is same persist flush. So expect is this function will be save the data in the database. Now let's create some code to to save the data. Product equal to new product. Let's set the fields. So product dot set name. Okay, let's create some random product name. For example, product name is a let's say notebook. Choose notebook. Okay, and we have to give some tag like set tag. We know tags is a array, so let's define some array. Laptop, notebook, Asus, computer. So I'm going to define some tag. Now we have to import the product repository. Product. This is the issue with my tips. So use app repository. I just include it. $product repository and list without save product. So this function will be save product in the database. Let's pass the product object to the twig, and then we can use that instead of use this dump. So we know data is dumped in the we have Asus and notebook, and these are the tags. So if we refresh it, okay, the data. Oh, how to check why it's not added in the database? Because we cannot flush it, we are not commit the transaction. We have Asus. If we see the tags, these are saved as a JSON array. So this is the JSON array in the database. So let's also check if that is working as expected. So I'm going to get the product list, and let's try to get the list. Product list equal to let's get all the going to send that as a product list. Let's check that what we got from the database. So route will be something like that. Oh, we keep the same. Because we are not passing the product, we are passing the, and we have to pass the same here, the list of the product we got from the database. So let's conclude the today's example. So our problem statement is how to add the array or JSON field in a database. So using maker bundle, we just add the new field, okay, like a tags. In our example, we take a tags as example field and choose that field is JSON, and you want to make it null or not, just mention that, and when we update the schema, that will be create a JSON field in the database, and you can pass that as an array, and when you save that, it will be added in the database. Thank you. Next video we will pick up the another problem object.